They say, truth can sometimes be stranger than fiction. This is definitely the case of the Black Hope hauntings. The movie Poltergeist had just came out in 1982. What many probably didn't realize is, it was based on a true story. Just a couple of years prior to the movie being released, in the Houston suburb of Crosby, Texas, a couple named Sam and Judith Haney had just fled their new dream house in terror. Just a few months before, they had bought a nice, modest home in a Newport subdivision. They soon decided that a pool would be a nice addition to their property. Little did they know, such a small, insignificant life luxury would cost them so much. As they were about to start digging, a local elderly, African-American man named Jasper Norton stopped by with an ominous warning. "Do not dig in that spot," he told them. He explained that there were bodies of former slaves buried right in the spot where the Haney's pool was about to be dug. He claimed to have known this, because he had dug those graves. He explained that the couple who were buried there, Charles and Betty Thomas, were freed after the end of the Civil War and that this was their final resting spot. He also explained that this was what was once known as the Black Hope Cemetery, and that the land was all bought up by a land developer and all the graves were simply covered over. The Haneys were skeptical, so they continued to dig. They soon found 2 old wedding rings in the dirt along with 2 broken old pine coffins that contained the Thomases' remains. Judith was horrified that they had disturbed their burial spot and she insisted that they be put back, just as they were found, and that they cover them back up, out of respect to the Charles and Betty. Little did they know that simply covering them up would not appease the deceased couple. All sorts of paranormal activity started to happen almost immediately, to both of the Haneys as well as their nearby neighbors. Their clock began to glow a bright orange color, even after it was unplugged. They heard voices coming from the toilets and house drains. Judith even heard her husband's voice when he wasn't even home. The doors would open and close. The sound of strange footsteps could be heard, and the scariest thing for Judith was, a pair of her favorite red, high-heel shoes went missing. She found them on Betty Thomas's grave. They decided to move and they sued the land developer and at first won the case, but it was soon overturned on appeal. The couple lost everything they had and had to file bankruptcy. This was surprising as they had more than ample proof. Dozens of neighbors reported almost identical problems, even seeing dark apparitions. Still, the land developer won. Frustrated and broke, the Haneys soon moved. Their neighbors, Ben and Jean Williams, had similar experiences. Large sinkholes would come up in their yard in the shape of coffins, all of their flower beds would die for no reason. They too had all the same issues as the Haneys, including seeing apparitions, smelling putrid smells, hearing voices, as well as the uneasy feeling of being watched. The couple could take no more. The Williams also took suit. They were informed by the developers without bodies, they had no proof. So, they decided to dig up some proof. Jean started to dig in the backyard. When she became ill, Tina, her 29-year-old daughter, took over. But she soon became sick. Tina was rushed to the hospital, where she died of a heart attack. Jean believes that her death was the result of the paranormal activity they had been experiencing. The Williams lost their entire life savings when they moved. They have since written a book about their encounters entitled Grave Secrets. Hopefully they ended up recouping at least some of the money they lost.